Most of the time when we apply for any internship or a job, we think that it's the company who is not reading our resume or replying to it. We think that whatever we have written in our resume is perfect and I'm the perfect candidate for this job. American investor Ray Dalio has talked about ego barrier. It is basically our defense mechanism that makes it hard for us to accept our mistakes and weaknesses. The same thing used to happen with me in my college days when I used to apply for 100 jobs and internship, but I hardly received any reply from the employers. I used to think that there is something wrong with them, why they are not selecting me and giving me an interview chance. But now when I look back and see I made so many mistakes while applying for a job, and because of that I did not receive any reply from the companies. And in this video I'm going to talk about 5 mistakes that I made while applying for jobs and internship. And those mistakes you guys might be making but you might not aware of it. Make sure you pay attention to each and every point I'm trying to make here. It is easy for us to think that I already know this, so I'm just gonna skip to next point. But I will tell you everything in detail, what are the different mistakes I made and how you can rectify those mistakes and do not repeat those things that I did. So number 1 mistake we have on our list is adding everything in your resume. Look at this was my resume. I added everything in single resume thinking if I add more and more skills, then recruiter will think that I know many things. But that's not how things work in real world. Nobody expects from you to know everything except the things that they are looking for. For example, let's say companies are looking for front-end web developers and they are looking for the people with the skills such as React.js, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, etc. Now on the job, if you apply resume with skills such as you have C, C++, Java, etc., then when a recruiter looks at your resume, at that time he or she will think that you might be lying or you have just added bunch of skills just to make your resume look good. Recruiters are looking for keywords in your resume. They are looking for specific skill set. Nobody has time to look entire resume, so make sure you enter what you really know. It's fine if your skills are limited as long as you know those things end to end. So only add your skills that you are confident about. Second mistake people make is adding shitty projects. Here what happens, you go on YouTube or read a blog and you find that you need to add projects in your resume to showcase your experience. Next thing you do is go on Google and search for projects. For example, data science projects for beginners. You find some good projects on Kaggle such as Titanic problem, IPL problem, housing price problem, etc. You go and start working on a solution. Some part you understand and some part you copy from other solution and make your final project. The only goal you have in your mind is complete this project as soon as possible and add it in your resume. And this happens with all the different fields such as software development, data engineering and many things. People generally go and try to find beginner level project and then they add it in their resume. Few months back, I asked some of my subscribers for their resume so that I could review them, and most of the resume I found with the exact same project. Some of the common projects you can find on Kaggle or other websites. These projects are good for the practice and beginner level, but you should not add these projects in your resume. If you really want to add some projects, then you need to add projects from your internship. Let's say if you have done like 2 to 3 projects in your internship, then you can talk about that project. Or maybe you can add your final year college project if you think that it is good enough. If you are looking for data engineering project ideas, then I've already made a video on that, so I will link that at the end of this video. Number 3 on the list we have is adding broad skill set. This is one of the most common mistake I saw when I was doing resume reviews. People just add skills like machine learning, data science, cloud computing. So what do you know in machine learning? Machine learning is really big. And if you are a fresher, then you need to specify what you really know in machine learning. Such as, I know some of the algorithms, some of the libraries such as TensorFlow, Keras, etc. And same with the cloud computing. What kind of different cloud platforms you know? AWS, GCP, Azure. And what kind of different services you have worked on such as S3, EC2, Glue, Redshift, etc. You need to specify what kind of things you really know rather than just generalizing things. So make sure you always clarify different skills when you add it in your resume. Fourth mistake is when your resume gets selected and you don't really know about what the company does and you just appear for the interview. Understand this. Companies are hiring people because they have some problems and they want to hire people who can help them to solve their problem. Let's say if you're applying for a job at a Netflix, okay? So you already know what kind of work Netflix does. It is like online content producing website. You can watch TV shows. You will get some kind of recommendation and etc. Now you already know what Netflix does, but let's say if you're applying for small product companies and your resume gets selected, then you will just appear for the interview without understanding what they're actually trying to achieve. So before going to the interview, make sure you at least visit company website and try to understand what their mission statement is. And the last and one of the most common mistake we make is that not tailoring our resume based on the role we are trying to apply. This happens because we are quite lazy and we don't really know what we really want to do in our life, and that's okay. If you don't know what you want to do, then it's fine. It's okay to be confused in your initial stage of your career. You can't get a data science job if you use software development resume while applying for that role. It is really important to tailor your resume according to role you are trying to apply. Now, if you reached this part of the video, then do let me know what kind of mistakes you are making or what kind of mistake you made while applying for the job. That will help other people to understand this much better. Also, if you want to learn more about data engineering, then you can check out the roadmap and the project series that will help you to add quality projects in your resume. And if you learned something, then don't forget to like this video. See you in the next video. Thank you.